شكرا. اسمي نو يمين القيرات مش أجمع تمازيغ تروح غيدو على سيقولخ ما ينقاد أجمع النغ ما ينخدم ما نزمر لو نستوجد باش لو نستحين أيضا. Okay, so I am Yamina Al-Firat, the instructor of the practicum, of the Amazigh Practicum. I will be presenting, introducing, giving you a brief idea about the Amazigh Practicum and introducing the work the students who attended the practicum have been able to prepare for today's presentation. Of course, the time was too short to be able to really come out with exhaustive analysis or deep insights into the language, but I'm quite satisfied, very happy with what the students have been able to achieve. So this is the group, and I would like them all to stand here in front of me. The people, everybody knows them, but still, just all of us. Yes, please. Mustafa, the language consultant. Yeah, exactly. This is it. It's very meta. Done?
No. Okay.
Thank you. So I'll give you a brief idea about what we will be presenting today. And before that, I would like to express my gratitude to Aryan for having given me this wonderful opportunity to meet exceptional people, and live a very enriching experience both at the professional and personal level. So, and I'm sure that my language consultants share my opinion, and they have really lived a very enriching experience as well. So I will start with a brief introduction, just for those who have do not have a clear idea about the Amazigh language. Very brief. I'm not going to talk for a long time because there is a lot to present today. And I would like to just speak about the specificities of the Amazigh practicum, because there was a real challenge for the students attending this practicum. The approach adopted, of course, monolingual, bilingual, how we shifted from monolingual to bilingual, the Swedish list, the paradigms, the story sessions, the songs. We have also relied on songs as a way to elicit the language, and we had cultural activities, and there are future perspectives for this practicum. We don't want to stop here, we want to carry on with this, so what comes next? Now, the Amazigh language, for those of you who I don't want to repeat myself, so it's an Afro-Asiatic, from the Afro-Asiatic family of languages, widely known as Berber, but the Amazighs, and especially the militants, the activists, have given up, and also academia have given up, dropped the term Berber because it has a negative connotation. The connotation does not appear in English, but it is highly apparent in French and Arabic, so it is barbaros, al-barbar in Arabic, which means, you know, the term from the Greek, though whoever does not, of course, speak the Greek language, but it was really extended to mean primitive people. So it has been abandoned, and of course it is still used by people who are not aware of this negative connotation. The writing system, what is specific or special about the Amazigh language in Morocco in particular, and it's not the case in the other areas, is that it has a writing system now, and it is tifinagh. course, before the Tifinagh got adopted, different research, especially in research, people were using the Latin script or the Arabic system. And we were expecting, really, everybody was pushing for adopting the Latin script because we were very enthusiastic about giving the Amazigh language a wider dimension. It will be not a problem for people willing to learn the language to face a new script. Now, the adoption of the Tifinagh script, for me personally, is a way to really somehow discourage people from, though it has a cultural dimension, but still, it is very difficult to learn the Tifinagh script. I learned it myself, carried out research and reported the research in Tifinagh, but every time I have to read the Tifinagh, I have to go back to the script in order to figure out. It's not really that easy, so I imagine what the young children starting school at 7 are facing with the Tifinagh and the Arabic script at the same time. So smaller Berber, of course, speaking populations in Libya, okay? Sorry, there are, of course, it is widely distributed. It's all over North Africa, so Libya, Algeria, Tunisia, Mali, Niger, repeated Libya twice, Egypt, and Burkina Faso. In Morocco, we assume there is all the figures given for the number of speakers of Amazigh are just estimates. No census has ever, and as you can see, I put a question mark here just to question the census itself, because the question included in the census about the language was, which dialect do you speak? It was not, which is your mother tongue. And I think that it is done, or it was done on purpose. And just for your information, the Amazigh language in Morocco is a political issue and not a linguistic one. So it's not only in Morocco, but it's the case in Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, or wherever it is. It is, and recently in Mali, there was the issue of the Tuareg. The Tuareg is an Amazigh group, and they have asked for independence, and they wanted to establish their own state. So very quickly, you can have a look at this map, and you see the distribution of the Amazigh throughout North Africa, from of course, Atlantic Ocean to the Siwa oasis in Egypt. So, and of course, from the Mediterranean Sea to, this is the widest, for the moment, the widest group of Amazighs, and of course, in the area. Now, with respect to Amazigh language in Morocco, there are, and this was the challenge for the students. When Aryan asked me to contribute to this, to CoLang 2012, of course, as she is aware herself of the situation of Amazigh, she is co-supervising a thesis on the Amazigh language with me. We thought, both of us, of bringing people from the 3 language areas. And what I mean by 3 language areas, we have language areas in the north that we call Terifit. In the Terifit, in the Rif Mountains and northeastern part of Morocco, there is the Aitis-Nesson variety, which is my own variety, my mother tongue, and I have always insisted myself on the fact that it is not a Rifi variety, though it was previously classified as a Rifi variety. And this is not done just haphazardly, it is done on scientific and objective facts, because I did compare the Rifi variety and the Aitis-Nesson variety, and they have a lot of differences. There are a lot of differences between the 2 varieties. We have the Amazigh of the Middle Atlas and central part of Morocco, and we have Azro Ifran, and we have Mustafa Uzir, who is a representative of the area of this variety. And of course, what you should also keep in mind with respect to Amazigh in Morocco, Amazigh has the largest Amazigh population for the moment, okay, that is actually. And when we speak of Amazigh language areas, each language area includes a number of varieties. That is, because the Amazigh were organized in tribes, so somehow organized in tribes, and each tribe, from one tribe to another, you find differences. So Mustafa was comparing himself to somebody just close to him, for instance. There are differences, there are still differences. And then you have the Tashri'ite variety, High Atlas, Anti-Atlas Mountains, and the southern part of Morocco, and Aid Dadaab Samad is the representative of this part of Morocco. We will, of course, in the practicum, the students had to deal with the three varieties, okay? And so this is the distribution. I will come back to the challenges they had to face. So this is more or less the distribution of the Amazigh varieties in Morocco, as you can see. So the central part, this is Tamazight. This is where, more or less, unfortunately, I cannot see Azro here, where Mustafa comes from. Mustafa is, oh sorry, so sensitive, from Azro. And then, of course, sorry, I should go slowly. I come from here, so you see this Z, the Z here represented as easiness. And then you have, unfortunately, this is a map I came across, of course, that is available, but I could not really locate the area where Mustafa and Samad come from. So status of Amazigh in Morocco, I mentioned that it is a political issue, and that until 1994, it was a taboo. And whoever would speak about the Amazigh issue or ask for linguistic rights would be taxed of being a separatist, and many people got arrested and had to stay for years in prison because of this. It was considered addressing the Amazigh issue until 1994 was really a threat to the unity of the nation. It was perceived by the authorities as a threat to the unity of the nation. Now, how did the things, I've already said it, but I just want to repeat for those who were not here for the presentation. Until 1994, and under the international pressure, because there were demonstrations on the 1st of May in El Rashidia, a very dynamic region full of activists. On the 1st of May, they demonstrated and asked for just held, things asking for linguistic rights. And they were arrested, beaten, and put in, of course, in jail. And then attorneys, because thanks to the new technologies, I think that globalization and new technologies are really helping minority groups to really gain their rights. So thanks to the new technologies, the news spread all over the world, and then attorneys and lawyers came from all over the world, the US, France, Spain, to support these people. And then the late Hassan II, the former king, was obliged to, on the 20th of August, in a national speech, this is the ceremony or an event for the, of course, revolution of the nation, the people and the king, we call it, against colonialism. He was forced to admit that the Amazigh it was a component of the Moroccan identity, and he declared then that it should be introduced at school, it should be introduced in the media, and so on and so forth. But we had to wait until 1999 in order to see this somehow move, because he made a declaration and it stopped there. And in 1999, when we started considering the reform of the Moroccan educational system, it was included there. So, and the way it was included, opening on the Amazigh language. That's the term really as it was used. And then, of course, academia reacted to the use of the term and rejected the fact that the term used, saying that this is part, if it is part of the national, of the identity, we do not open on ourselves. We open on the other. And then we did reconsider the term, but it's still not that clear. Now, in 2001, we had to wait until the new king came into power, 2001, an institute called IRCAM, Institut Royal pour la Culture Amazigh, a Royal Institute for the Amazigh Culture, got established in October 2001. Of course, people were really aspiring a lot and expecting a lot from this institute, thinking that it will really promote the Amazigh language and identity. But now it's about 10 years, 11 years since the institute is there. Nothing has been achieved that is in the field, in reality. Well, they have done a lot of research, a kind of research that I do myself as a researcher question, because most of the research is done in offices. We have done here in the practicum a real field work, because there are informants asking, and of course, the way they did it, they ask themselves, what do I say in my writing? What do you say in your writing? Just researchers among themselves, not relying on native speakers, trying to standardize the language, codify the language. So this academia have a very negative stand towards the institute now, and there is a real cut between the academia, the scholars, the researchers, the linguists, and the institute. And it's the same thing with activists. So activists as well do not want to associate that much with the institute. Now we had to wait until 2003, and overnight we decided to introduce the Amazigh at school. We did not even give the people the time to prepare programs, manuals, or whatever. So we decided in June that Amazigh will be introduced in September. And we did it haphazardly, at random, and with 2.5 hours a week. That is a session of half an hour at the level of primary school, first year, second year, and third year of primary school. So it was really something that we were expecting it to be a failure. And when they started recruiting teachers, and this is a kind of joke more than it makes me laugh really. When they started recruiting teachers, they recruited teachers who were previously teaching either Arabic or French. And because people were expecting to get some financial reward from it, even non-native speakers of Amazigh registered themselves to go and teach Amazigh. So when it started, they received training, and when we started going to the field just to watch, because researchers were trying to follow what was happening, when I reported in a conference at IRCAM that what is happening is really very dangerous, because I attended a class where the teacher could not speak a word of Amazigh. And he was lucky because he had one fluent young boy in Amazigh. So the young boy was the one who was teaching the teacher the Amazigh language. And at that time when I reported this, they really denied the whole thing. And of course now they admit that there are serious problems with the language. Now this is somehow to give you an idea about the script that has been adopted for the Amazigh. This is Tifinagh. Now when we go to the history of Morocco, Moroccan Amazighs have never used Tifinagh as a written system, because Amazigh has always been an oral language. Actually, the only Amazigh group which has used Tifinagh is the Tuareg, or some Amazighs in Libya. In Morocco, no, Tifinagh was not used at all. So this is what it looks like. And, it is somehow difficult for a child at 7 years old, 6.5 years old, to face both the Arabic script and the Tifinagh script. So this is what you have here. Now the program. So I get here to the program because I want to, though I said I'm not going to talk much. I know I speak a lot. Okay, so we'll start with Taylor giving a general overview about the language. Then Zion will give a phonetic or phonological sketch of the Amazigh language. Justin will present tense and aspect. Travis, argument structure. There might be some changes in the titles. I haven't been updated this morning because I know that things have been going on and there might be some slight changes. Amora, reflexive plurals and conjunctions. Chelly's, questions and focus. Justin, linguistic maps. Mora and Taylor, guess what? I won't tell you. Christopher, frog story. And then I will come back you will see me again, and I will talk to you about future perspectives and the ideas I got from this practicum. This is why I think that this is a wonderful experience, really, for me and for my language consultants. Memorable times, just to share with you and even with the students, because they haven't had the chance to see them. So, first meeting, we had really to agree on how to start working. And I didn't want, really, I wanted to be there as a facilitator, as a moderator. I wanted just to observe, to be an observer and see how they will manage, because when you are in the field, there is nobody there. I know, I've been in the field for 30 years now, and I know that you have to struggle on your own. So we started, we agreed, how are we going to do it? And then we reached agreement with respect to the consent form and everything. So, working session, a transcription of the board. So everyone will have his share, okay? Some memorable times as well, working even outside the Fraser Hall, okay, meeting at the Kansas Union, meeting at some apartments, sunflower apartments for work, more work. Yeah, working again. Challenges. With trying to produce the sound. And this is one of the challenges. Actually, I was not aware, neither were my language consultant, that it could be that difficult for non-speakers of a language to perceive and hear the sounds. Really, we could not even believe them that when they would give us some sounds we did not produce. We would keep repeating, no, it's this. It's like, you know, correcting. It was really very, very exciting. It's like correcting. I remember when I used to correct my son when he was not able to produce the je sound. And he would say the z. He would call his sister Zihan instead of Jihan. And I would say, no, it's Jihan. He would say, yes, Zihan. And of course, this is what made me really go for the approach I have adopted. When you realize it yourself, until one day, and then he came out with Jihan. I said, yes, good. So this is exactly what the students, and I was impressed. When I was impressed, you know, in one day, when they agreed and they were able just to cut a sentence into all its elements. It was wonderful, and we were all excited. And the language for Mustafa and Samad were like, oh God, well, how did he do it? Okay, and of course they work together, and I would refer to this later. So, some of the, you see, Mustafa keeps us saying it's as if you are interviewed by the FBI. So when you get there, the first impression that you don't hear anything. There is something that happens with your ears, but it's really a nice place to work in. I enjoyed working there. See, meditation, concentration. The board again, used again and again. People smiling once. Travis at the board. He didn't used to like it that much, but at the end he was enjoying it, so you will see him again. Here. Okay, and of course, I really liked the group, the teamwork, because they would meet at night, chat, discuss, and come in the morning, have questions, and come and address the questions to me, and help each other, provide whatever is available to each other. This is something that I really admire a lot. Chris. See? Well, unfortunately, I didn't have an individual picture of Mora. I don't know why. The photographer, you should really blame the photographer for it, not me. Okay? Activities. So, long hours of elicitations, and I was so lucky because the language consultants made themselves available all the time. I'm so grateful to them. I know that some of them had hard time. Sometimes Mustafa would have really headaches well, Abdul Samad would just look this. Okay? But it was a pleasure. So activities, we thought that we cannot separate the language from its culture, and that putting a language in its real context will teach a lot. So we had some cultural sessions where we introduced the students to a number of what we thought was crucial for them to know about the language. So again, activity visit to the museum, even though we were not able to find much there, but this will give us maybe the idea of thinking of having donations for this museum so that the culture and the language be represented here. Okay? If whenever someone from Kansas will come to Morocco, I promise that we will. Yeah, I'm expecting Aryan to come very soon for a defense. So she will be, well, I wouldn't give, she should not exceed the load allowed. So don't bring too many things with you. Okay? So visit to the museum, we want really to have some memorable moments. Oh, you know, he's good, really good. Well, the conditions were not ideal for him to do it the right way, but he did his best, and I'm sure you all enjoyed it. Okay? So the Amazigh Practicum here, and I tried to use the Tifina, so all the language consultants' names are written in Tifina so that you realize what it looks like. Of course, now it is made easy because you can download it on your laptop, and you can just turn your font to the Irkam Tifina and type it. There are a few symbols that you should have in specific symbols that are additional symbols. And what I would like you to know as well is that there are different types of Tifina. So if you are interested in the Irkam Tifina, that is, this is a Moroccan Tifina. It's the one adopted by Irkam, and we have Tifina Irkam because you have other Tifinas. And then a Mirt. Okay? Thank you very much. And now